c'è? C'è un'agopuntura, guardi.
Cosa?
Vedi il segno? È abbastanza chiaro.
Ragioni. Ma scusa, non potrebbe essere una puntura d'insetto?
Questo lo escludo assolutamente. Al massimo potrebbe essere il segno di un ustione, ma mi sembra proprio che sia una puntura.
Ma scusi, altri segni?
Adesso facciamo una ricognizione in tutto il corpo
Sì,
con
bisogna
attenzione.
guardare quel nostro mestiere, no?
Ancora? Rigidità cadaverica presente, generalizzata, particolarmente accentuata. Porti i ferri. Vai a prendere i ferri.
Ah, guarda, questo non mi sembra vericello.
Sì. Giudice, c'è un'agopuntura, guardi.
Cosa?
Vedi il segno? È abbastanza chiaro.
Ragioni. Ma scusa, non potrebbe essere una puntura d'insetto?
Questo lo escludo assolutamente. Al massimo potrebbe essere il segno di un ustione, ma mi sembra proprio che sia una puntura.
Ma scusi, altri segni?
Adesso facciamo una ricognizione in tutto il corpo
Sì,
con
bisogna
attenzione
guardare.
per vedere se troviamo segni.
What is the intention of Omnicron to bring about or do if successful upon the masses? Its intent is to forward the development of whether the global agenda is successful or not, which is to digitize humanity. Trap humanity inside a digital prison, which is to make human freedom dependent on whether you have a digital Jap passport or the Internet of Bodies or that which is trapped inside this agenda, etc., etc. And that is what Omnicron's purpose is, to continue the planning process of ever stepping closer and closer to that point of digital singularity whereby mankind becomes, or at least believes in this dependency on a form of digital authentication to continue on living or to be accepted in living in society or be given the right to live life itself. The nomad soul, on the other hand, is the type of soul which is capable of breaking this form of tyranny and control on its own people. Because the nomad, if given a tarot interpretation, is the perfect duality of the fool and the magician. The fool is the opposite of that which would submit to that which limits life to stagnation and comfort. This is the risk taker, being completely open to experience, not afraid of death or harm, the true beauty of a curious mind open to the complete experience of life. To take risk and to start something new to experience no matter what the situation is. To allow the experience of life to guide them forth with complete acceptance of reality. And of course the magician being the card of originality, creation, confidence, individuality, willpower and initiative. This is the nomad soul, and that which overcomes the powers that be which desire to restrict and castrate the experience of life itself into something else. To live out the life of this archetypal energy of the nomad soul is to be that which is completely good, a symbol of love, to be a living and breathing symbol that disempowers the influence of evil in this world which we see today. That to be free, one has to live free. Now when you watch this David Bowie video game clip from the game Omnicron Nomad Soul, you will see that it illustrates the complete narrative of what is going on today in this world, and it should prove to you the existence of magic through language and intent. All people use language to produce their own reality, but so do organisations, institutions, and the agendas in which they want to make real in this world. Hence why the variant is called Omnicron, because you will be a moron if you buy into it, because you will be sacrificing your life to the digital entrapment of humanity. This is what the occult meaning, for example, of abracadabra means, which in translation is you create what you speak. So watch this clip, it will probably freak you out a little bit, but if you can see where I'm coming from, you'll understand what I mean.
So here you are, the stranger in Omicron, conqueror of demons. Dagobah told me much about your exploits. You're not the first video game player to get your soul trapped in this dimension, but you're certainly the first to stay alive so long. They're now in Astaroth's reservoir of souls. Better to die 1,000 deaths than end up there. Astaroth was locked up in a cage for thousands of years by Cuchulainn, the hero of the Cobalt Wars. Now that he's free, the demon needs to build up his power again because it dwindled over the centuries. To do so, he needs souls. Thousands of souls. He derives his power from suffering souls. They endure infinite tortures in the reservoir. It is this endless suffering that will enable him to recover his former power. The souls here are grey and withered. You can't get much power from them. The juiciest souls are in your dimension. Astaroth created the video game called Omicron in order to capture them, the game you're playing at this very moment. He uses Omicron to attract souls. He asks players to put their spirit into a body in order to enter our dimension. As soon as the soul has come here, it only takes a demon to catch it and take it to Astaroth, who condemns it for all eternity, which very nearly happened to you. No, unfortunately. As long as your soul is a prisoner in Omicron, you run the risk of being caught by a demon and thrown into the reservoir. The only way to save your soul is to kill Astaroth, but nobody knows where he hides, not to mention how to go about killing him. Let me think. There might be a way to find out more about Astaroth. There's an old parchment that comes from the Cobalt Wars. It mentions Astaroth. Perhaps it says something about how to destroy the demon. The parchment is in the central library of Omicron under strict guard at the top of the pyramid. Go to the library and gather together all the information you can find on Astaroth. The survival of your soul is at stake. Legate Reshev protects everything that dates from the Cobalt Wars. He still hopes to discover some secrets of the ancient art. All access to these documents is forbidden. The library is in the Lahora sector. You'll need a pass to get there. You'll find one somewhere in this house. I placed Jenna at the head of Phalanx 5 to replace Namtar the traitor. I asked her to give you all the help you need. Something tells me you can help us achieve our goal. An old legend recounts that only a nomad soul can hunt the demons out of Omicron. You may be the one we have been waiting for. I must go. Now the binary tides are turning. May Vaigrimuka guide your steps. Wake up, people of Omicron. Reshev and his corrupt government are lulling you to sleep in order to control you better. They have transformed you into puppets that are manipulated by Ix and the demons. Join the awakened ones and rise up to fight for your freedom. Together, we can win. All the inhabitants of Omicron are now awakened. The trusts have been destroyed. The last skirmishes are ending in the streets. We have had an extraordinary victory, which our descendants will recount from generation to generation, and we owe this victory to you, Nomad Soul. You helped us win back our freedom. For us all, you are now a legendary hero, like Cuchulainn before you. I shall try to take on material form again and leave this accursed network that has kept me prisoner for centuries. Thank you for all you have done for us, Nomad Soul. We'll never forget you.
That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has
Did you make up on subsidies? Did you guys resolve any differences?
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
We do have a very special relationship. In fact, I'll get that little piece of dandruff for that little piece. We have to make him perfect. He is perfect. 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 did a good job. Did a great job. Great president. He's going to be a great president of France. That's my prediction. It's only a prediction.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So it is really great to be with you, and you are a special friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President. And on top of it, we have an excellent personal relationship, so I want to thank you for that. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you.
I like him a lot. First of all, I want to thank, and I believe France will be taken to new heights under this president. It's going to be an outstanding president, one of your great presidents, and it's an honor to call you my friend. Thank you.
Thousands of people protested in Paris and other French cities on Saturday against a mandatory coronavirus health pass for entry to a wide array of public venues. The pass was introduced by the government as it battles a fourth wave of infections. It was the third weekend in a row that people opposed to President Emmanuel Macron's new COVID-19 measures have taken to the streets.
I won't go to restaurants. I don't give a damn. I won't sell my soul to go to the cinema or for other nonsense. That's it. There is more at stake. Freedom. There is nothing above freedom.
Visitors going to museums, cinemas, or swimming pools are already denied entry if they can't produce the health pass showing they've been vaccinated against COVID-19 or have had a recent negative test. Parliament approved a new law this week that will make vaccinations mandatory for health workers and extend the health pass requirement to bars, restaurants, trade shows, trains, and hospitals.
Moving on, despite nationwide protests against Macron government's COVID health pass rule, people in France will now have to show their virus certificate to enjoy routine activities such as traveling or even visiting a cafe. The latest regulations make it obligatory to have either a full course of vaccination or a negative test report, or even a report that says that the individual has recently recovered from the virus. From now on, the health pass will be needed to eat in a restaurant or even enjoy a beverage at a cafe, both indoors and even in outdoor areas. It will also be on obligatory basis for intercity transport, including trains and domestic flights.
The fourth agreement that we have achieved, we understand that during the pandemic, the problem is, or the response is, you stop the movement of people. because when you stop the movement of people, you stop the movement of the virus. That is the very basic health minister response. You know, when you do it, when you stop the movement of people, you stop the movement of goods. When you stop the movement of goods, you stop the movement of money. When you stop the movement of money, you create social issues. You only have health issues, you create social crisis. When you have social crisis, you have political crisis. So now we also identify these issues and we realize, hey, health ministers, when we have another pandemic, we understand that to stop the spreading of the virus, we have to limit, not stop, the movement of the people. People that carry emergency medical countermeasure, emergency goods like energy and food, they still have to move around. The pilot, the ship's crew, those are the people that need to be moved around. So let's have a digital health certificate acknowledged by WHO. If you have been vaccinated or tested properly, then you can move around. So for the next pandemic, instead of stopping the movement of the people 100%, which clog the economy globally, you can still provide some movement of the people. Indonesia has achieved, G20 country has agreed to have this digital certificate using WHO standard, and we will submit into the next World Health Assembly in Geneva as the revision to international health regulation. So hopefully for the next pandemic, we can still see some movement of the people, some movement of the goods, and movement of the economy.
A new process for customers hoping to grab a meal or a drink. The health pass will become compulsory in French restaurants from next Monday, in dining rooms but also on the terraces. It's a difficult measure to swallow for many, like this restaurant in Toulouse, where waiters had hoped to be able to seat customers outside without controlling them.
Nous, on n'a pas de personne, nous sommes sur du placement libre. On n'a pas une personne à l'accueil qui va, elle, pouvoir contrôler chaque personne. Ça sera un travail qui sera à faire par chaque employé.
To implement the latest requirements, some establishments have already been preparing for days, like this Parisian restaurant. Here a path has even been laid out for the arrival of customers.
Donc vous voyez, en fait, c'est ici qu'on va devoir contrôler la clientèle à l'accès de l'établissement. Et c'est ici que les gens vont devoir attendre avant de se faire contrôler leur passe sanitaire. On craint qu'effectivement on perde en termes de chiffre d'affaires un certain nombre de clients.
Oversee the entry process. Another new feature for the team to come to terms with is the application used to scan the Health Pass QR code.
Je viens de télécharger l'application, je vous avoue. Il va falloir un petit temps d'adaptation pour tout ce qui est contrôle, etc. C'est vraiment la première fois que ça arrive, du coup ça va être vraiment compliqué, il va falloir s'adapter au début, quoi.
France's government has promised flexibility, at least for the first week, for establishments applying the Health Pass.
The American state most closely aligned historically to France, President Emmanuel Macron has ended his 3-day visit to the US with a trip to Louisiana to mark long-standing cultural ties and to discuss energy policy and climate change. He also had a meeting with new Twitter owner and Tesla boss Elon Musk. Well, with more on how Macron has been trying to promote the French language and culture, here's our reporter Clovis Casali, who's in New Orleans.
Final day of Emmanuel Macron's visit to the United States, and he was in Louisiana, New Orleans, where he took to the streets to meet hundreds, if not thousands, of people in the French Quarter. People very happy to see him, some wearing the French flag, the jersey of the French football team, and chanting Allez les Bleus, Allez Macron. One woman even asking him to move to New Orleans once he's no longer president. And then Emmanuel Macron came here to the Noma Museum of New Orleans, where he delivered a passionate speech in favor of the French language. He said, it's a fight, it's a combat, you need to spread the French language and values. And then there was this surprise meeting between Emmanuel Macron and Elon Musk here at the Noma Museum. It lasted around 1 hour. It was behind closed doors. We did not see Elon Musk leave the premises. What's important is that in recent days, Emmanuel Macron had heavily criticized Elon Musk, the boss of Twitter, in US media, saying that Twitter was no longer regulating content and allowing the spread of conspiracy theories on COVID-19, for instance. Then Emmanuel Macron, after the meeting, tweeted that they had had a clear and honest discussion. There was a need for significant reinforcement of content moderation and protect freedom of speech. Efforts have to be made to comply with EU regulations. A strong message delivered by Emmanuel Macron. The two men also talked about carbon-free energy, the protection of climate, because of course Elon Musk, the boss of Twitter, is also the boss of Tesla.
How would you like to become a superhuman, or at least a better version of yourself? As usual, Elon Musk has some ideas on how you can do that. He believes you can achieve this by implanting a chip in your head. This is no joke, as Musk has been testing chip brain implants in animals and is now testing them on humans using Neuralink technologies. What is Neuralink, how will Musk implant the chip in human brains, and what will Musk achieve with Neuralink? Join us as we dive into how Musk is finally testing Neuralink on humans. Many of us have had moments we wished for more brain power, perhaps to tackle a difficult school assignment, multitask to be able to meet deadlines, or learn some concepts in a very limited time. What if our brains can go through a reawakening, or we can simply add more processing power like we can add RAM to a computer? All these are enticing possibilities that imaginative filmmakers have tantalized us with for decades. Sci-fis show active, intelligent humans getting updates by opening up their heads and adding more power. However, thanks to an ingenious businessman and billionaire inventor, we might soon be living those films as a reality. That man is Elon Musk, whose intelligence is in no doubt. Musk started Neuralink to achieve what many people would assume is impossible. The company aims to build implantable chips that will allow the human brain to interact with computers directly. But what exactly is Neuralink? We will look into this before we get into how Musk is putting it into the human brain. Neuralink is a gadget that will be surgically inserted in the brain using robotics by neurosurgeons. In this procedure, a chipset called the Link is implanted in the skull. It has a number of insulated wires connected from the electrodes that are used in the process. This device can then be used to operate smartphones and computers without having to touch it. Give it up to Musk to try what others shy away from. This is the same man that wants to settle people on Mars permanently, while others debate the morality or ethics of such an idea. Technologies like Neuralink have their critics, but seeing the benefits, Musk will not be stopped. Before looking at the benefits of Neuralink, how does it work? Musk put it as, the neurons are like wiring and you need an electronic thing to solve an electronic problem. That is an oversimplified explanation, but we offer you what you need to know here. It is important to have some ideas of how the brain works. The brain consists of neurons that transmit signals to cells in the body, including muscle, nerve, glands, and other neuron cells. Every neuron is made up of three parts called the dendrite, the soma or cell body, and the axon. The dendrite receives the signals, the soma processes these signals, the axon then transmits the signals to the other cells. The neurons are connected to one another by the synapses, which release neurotransmitters. These chemical substances are then sent to another neuron cell's dendrite, causing the flow of current across the neurons. The electrodes that are part of the Neuralink will read electrical signals that are produced by several neurons in the brain. The signals are then output in the form of an action or movement, which is how you walk or lift an arm. The Neuralink device is implanted directly in the brain because if it is placed on the skull, it will not detect the signals produced in the brain accurately. Accuracy is very important in applications like this. Musk says it charges wirelessly. So what does Neuralink do? The main function, as already stated, is to bridge the gap between the human brain and technology. This has many applications, including the ones that will benefit a special class of people. For example, people who have suffered paralysis and can't move their body parts can use a special class of people. For example, people who have suffered paralysis and can't move their body parts can use a special class of people. For example, people who have suffered paralysis and can't move their body parts can use Neuralink to operate their phones and computer directly with their brains. This will be useful for people who have suffered diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It can also help people who have suffered severe spinal injuries to walk again.
You're here. How much have you logged?
Zip. I read a manual.
Tell me you're joking.
This is cool. Let's go. Don't. Got this.
So you just figured you'd come out here to the most hostile environment known to man, with no training of any kind, and see how it went? What's going through your head?
Maybe I was sick of doctors telling me what I couldn't do.
Biometrics are good.
When 3 is ready.
Keep your arms in, hands in, head down. Down. Just relax and let your mind go blank. It shouldn't be hard for you.
Guess the darkest part of my living life.
Initiate link. Initiate link. Initiate link.
Sequence unit 3, go.
Launching.
And the first congruency.
That's a gorgeous brain. Nice activity.
Go figure.
Phase lock 40%.
Going in. I'm going in 4.
Phase lock 99%. Everything is stable.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Jake? In response to normal. How you feeling, Jake?
Hey, guys.
Welcome to your new body, Jake. Welcome to your new body, Jake. Welcome to your new body, Jake.
Good.
Take this nice and easy, Jake. And touch your thumb to your finger?
Yeah.
Thumb to your fingers.
No problem.
That's good. I can see you can remember that one.
Got it.
Well, if you want to sit up, that's fine.
Good, just take it nice and slow, Jake. Okay, well, no truncal ataxia, that's good.
Are you feeling lightheaded or dizzy at all? Are you wiggling your toes?
Good, Jake. Distal motor control is good. Good,
Are you
Jake.
feeling any numbness or pain?
That's great, Jake.
Whoa.
Hold on now, don't take it easy, don't get ahead of yourself, okay? There's a few more sensory motor reflex tests we need to run, so take it easy.
Wait.
Jake,
Sit down,
Jake,
Jake.
listen to me.
Whoa.
Jake! I need you to sit down. Jake,
It's okay.
Listen to me.
So good, I got this.
Jake, you need to sit down right
Guys,
now.
get him back on the gurney now.
Listen to me. I'm safe. You need to sit down. You need time to adjust to the atmosphere. Jake, why sit down? Jake, sit down. 1,000 milligrams of Sulfapam. Stop.
Guys, whoa.
By the numbers.
Jake,
Jake,
listen to me. You're not used to your avatar body.
this is dangerous.
This is great.
Jake,
Come on, they're gonna put you out.
Jake, listen to me.
Sit down. No. I gotta get out of these leads.
God damn it, bring that.
Oh, come on, you ain't got no skills. Oh! I don't even have to play defense on
Hey, guys. Hey.
It's okay. I'll get him.
Jake, you have to come
Jake,
back.
excuse me.
Sorry.
Come on. Jake, we're not supposed to be running.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
Watch it!
One might think hell is a foreign concept to a computer. After all, there's no afterlife for artificial intelligence, right? An artificial intelligence, or AI, doesn't have a soul. Heaven and hell are meaningless to it. But an AI can learn about these things, pictures, and as you're probably well aware, a computer can process all this information on a much greater scale than a human. So when an AI has processed all this information, what will it think about hell? After it's consumed vast amounts of human knowledge, will it piece it all together and come to the conclusion that there's no such thing as hell? Will all of our stories and pictures have scared the computer into believing in our version of hell? Or maybe a computer will have an entirely separate idea of hell, its own unique vision. Whatever the case, will this vision be where the AI thinks we go, or where it goes? I asked an AI to show me a vision of hell. This, according to artificial intelligence, is a representation of hell. The AI created what you are seeing right now. This is a computer's idea of what hell looks like. This is a text-to-image AI, meaning I give the AI a written prompt and it creates an image based on that prompt. In this case, the prompt is simply hell, but I'll vary the prompt to produce different versions of hell. I'll put this prompt on screen so you know what the AI was thinking when it created these images. I won't explain exactly how it all works, but the basic idea is the AI processes billions of images from the internet and their descriptions. It analyzes all this data until it starts to learn the correlations between the descriptions and what appears in the images. Eventually, it can create its own images given a description. In this way, the AI is really just showing us a representation of what it thinks humans think hell looks like, because it learned how to portray hell from humans. So I was kind of dramatizing the AI's thought process earlier, but imagining how an AI might think about all this is a fun philosophical game to play while we look at the images it's created. If there's one thing AI seems to think about hell, it's that there's a lot of people there. As you can see, the AI sometimes deigns to put some inspiring words in the images, although they rarely make much sense. I'm using the Deforum notebook on Google Colab to generate these images and then upscaling them to a higher resolution so they appear more sharp and crisp. Interestingly, this AI also has the capability to create videos, so why don't we go ahead and dive into the lungs of hell. I hope you've enjoyed your tour of hell, and I hope you're as fascinated by this technology as I am. This is the cutting edge of artificial intelligence right now, and the images these things can create are amazing. Lots of possibilities here. Maybe I'll do more videos about this stuff if people are interested, or maybe this will be a once-off. Let me know if you'd like to see more or not in the comments.